All right, so this is a plot diagram. I want you to fill out where it says plot diagram 4. I want you to write things fall apart. Down here under protagonist, I want you to tell me who the main character is. And as far as the antagonist goes, I want you to explain what they're struggling against, the main character. What is the main character struggling against? It's not necessarily going to be a person or a group of people. It might be something more figurative. So not necessarily something that's literal. Setting, I want you to give me the time. I want you to give me the place. You might have to do some research and figure out when this is supposedly set. And I want you to give me the internal conflict. So what is the character's internal conflict and how might this, is it a struggle within himself and what is that struggle about? And then as far as an external conflict, I want you to be able to tell me how is that manifesting outside of his internal struggle manifesting outside? So are there individuals in which he is in conflict with, individuals or groups with which he is in conflict with? Author, I want you to tell me what the author's message is. That's what the theme is. So it says author's theme. I want you to tell me what's the author trying to say? What is it that they wish to convey to the reader? Any examples of symbolism you can think of? You may wish to think about the names, Mr. Smith versus Mr. Brown, and some of the material objects and what they're made of. See if you can come up with a symbol that way. Foreshadowing, are there any events in the story that you can see foretelling things that are going to happen later in the book? And then any elements of irony, things that you know as the reader that the characters within the book do not know. This is called dramatic irony. So if you know something that the character doesn't know within the book, that's dramatic irony. I want you to give me at least one example of that. Put your name down here at the bottom. All right, so as far as the plot chart itself, I want you to give me 9 events of rising action as it's moving toward the peak of the conflict, the climax. So 9 items, and I want page numbers for each event. Then I want you to tell me what the climax is, and again, give me the page number where you believe that, or page numbers where you believe the climax occurs. Then in the following action, I want you to give me at least 3 and probably 4 events that occur after the climax and help to resolve the plot. So resolve the conflict. How does this conflict come to an end? It doesn't necessarily have to be a happy ending. It doesn't have to be a clean ending, but it has to come to an end somehow, and I want you to tell me how. And then finally, I want you to give me the resolution. What is the final piece of the book? What is the final piece of the plot? How does this end? How does this conflict come to an end? Thank you. That is all.